positive live chat experience for you and your viewers. Choose who can participate and set a delay between messages hiding and or people or put people in timeout. Manage messages had hold for review and moderators to your channel. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness, I accidentally bent my Martin Luther King Jr.'s book here. Oh, there we go. This is called the Antiba, the blog Raffi, oh, on with me. Martin Luther King Jr., edited by Clay Broad Class or whatever. I just want to do some reading in here. Cause I love my black history. You know, yeah, I love my black history. Hopefully, wait a minute, let me see if I can stand that up like that. Yeah, I just want to do some reading. Early years. The Montgomery movement begins. Okay, violence of desperate men. Desperated men. Okay. See, all these things is we can relate to. Edited prepares. Prefers. I first saw Martin Luther King Jr. from a distance. He was up on the platform in front of the Lincoln Memorial, the concluding speaker at the 1963 March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. I was bowed in the vast crowd, listeners around the reflecting poor. A 19-year-old college student attended my first civil rights demonstration. He would become a man of the year, a Nobel Prize, a literate, and a national icon. Icon. I would become a foot soldier in the movement. He symbolized and would walk through doors of opportunity made possible by that movement. More than 2 decades later, after I became a historian at a Stanford University, Mr. Cotton, Scott King unexpectedly called me to offer the opportunity to edit the papers of her late husband. Since accepting her offer to become a director of the King Papers project, I have amused myself in the documents recorded his life and have gradually came to know a man I never met. The study of King and his becoming the central focus of my scholarly life, and this project is the culmination of my career as a documentary editor. The March on Washington started me on the path to autobiographic Martin Luther King Jr. This book is a product of King's intellectual legacy, just as I am a benefic- beneficiary of his social justice legacy. The following narrative of King's life is based entirely on his own words. These are his thoughts. Okay, it says these are his thoughts about the events in his life as he expressed them at a different times in various ways. Although he never wrote a comprehensive and autobiographic, King published three major books as well as numerous artists or artists and essay focusing on specific periods of his life. In addition, many of his speeches, sermons, letters, and unpublished manuscripts provided revealed information taken taken together. These materials provided the basis for this approximately of the autobiographic that King might have written in his life, not suddenly ended. For the most part, this book consists of autobiographical writings. This is the editor's preference. That's what this is. That was published during King's lifetime and was personally edited by him. Edited means he added a lot of things. This is a reading from Martin Luther King. It's been a minute since I actually read some stuff, but I'm gonna get more off into that. Matter of fact, let me show y'all my old stuff. I know y'all remember I used to be kind of reading this stuff back in the day. Who was Esau Edom? Let's go on into the Caucasian man. All right, let's keep reading. All right. Nevertheless, King's peers provided simple evidence of his active involvement in the editorial process that resulted in his most significant publications. Indeed, the preparation for this autobiographic involves examining pre 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 mentored preliminarity drips several handwriting of King's published writings. In order to determine his intentions, I have included passages from such drips when they counted, revealed, or clarified information that does not appear in the published versions. Although King's published autobiographical writings providing the basic structure of this book, they constituted an incompleted narrative. In order to fill out the narrative and to include King's accounts of events that are not discussed in his published writings, I have incorporated passages from hundreds of documents, recording and including many statements that was not intended for publications or even intended as autobiographic. These passages stigma s- argument the published accounts and serve as transcensions, the transcensions, translation, trans, transitions between more extended narratives. In some instances, I have made editorial changes, which are explained below, in order to construct a narrative that is reliable and comprehensible. This excuse, I mean, exercise of editorial craft is intended to provide readers with a reality a, as, 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 excuse me, hold on, an accessible as, assemble, assembles of King's writings and recording statements that would otherwise be available only to a handful of King scholars. I trust that readers will recognize and appreciate the fact that this narrative can never approach the coherence and comprehensiveness that would have been possible if King had been able to write a complete account of his life. Thus, this narrative understates, the improvements in the importance of King's life, of his family. Although King often acknowledges the contrary, no, center, the sincerity of his wife, the sincerity of his wife, the correlated Scotland, King in his published prevented life and his extant papers rarely noted the degree to which she participated in protest activities and other public events. Similarly, King's close ties to his parents and his children, his sisters Christina King Ferris and his brother and A. D. King are insufficiently reflected in his papers, despite the fact that these relatives played a crucial roles in his life. Yeah, this is based upon Martin Luther King's. It's given a life of how he. It's basically telling you how our people, black people, was treated and stuff. Early years, of course, I was religious. That's what Martin Luther King was saying. Of course, I was religious. I grew up in the church. My father is a preacher. My grandfather was a preacher. My great grandfather was a preacher. My only brother is a preacher. My daddy's brother is a preacher. So I didn't have much choice. November the 25th, 1926. Michael, Michael, later Martin Luther King, St. Mary's, Abella Williams, daughter of A.D. Williams, pastor, Elizabeth Baptist Church, January 15, 1929. Michelle later Martin Luther King Jr., born at Williams Williams King family home at 50 at 501 Alabama Avenue in Atlanta. Okay, I didn't know that. In Alborn Avenue in Atlanta. March the 21st, 1931, A.D. Williams dies. In March the 21st, 1930, A.D. Williams dies and is succeeded as pastor of Elizabeth's by King St. May 18, 1941. King Jr.'s grandmother, Janet, let's see here, late Williams dies and family moves to 193 April the 17th, 1944. King Jr. traveled to Dalton, Georgia to deliver the Negro and the Constitution in oratory contest. Hopefully y'all understood that I was reading the first part. I don't know if y'all understood that. That's part. I was born in the late 20s on the verge of the Great Depression, which was to spread its distant arms into every corner of this nation for over a decade. I was much too young to remember the beginning of this depression, but I do recall when I was about 5 years of age how I questioned my parents about the numerous people standing in the breadless. I can see the effects of this early childhood experience on my anticipation. No, anti-capitalist. That's what that is. My bad. I had it wrong. Anti-capitalist. Okay. Anti-capitalist feelings. My birthplace was Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. That's on page 2. Martin Luther King's birthplace is in Atlanta, Georgia. Now I need to see how I came out with this reading. So, study your history. That's the title of the video. Study your history. All right, I'm out.